everyone. I'm Ms. Soundarya Lahari, 2nd BSc, Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College, Tirupati. On behalf of Sri Vidyaniketan family, I feel privileged to welcome you all for today's webinar on recent trends and applications in electronics and communications. I extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Chairman, Sri Vidyaniketan Educational Institutions, Padma Shri Dr. M. Mohan Babu Uncle, CEO Mr. Vishnu Manchu Anna, Principal of SVDC Dr. D. Asha Lata Ma'am, Organizing Committee, Technical Team, Resource Persons, and all the participants of today's program. I would like to announce that the first session in today's webinar is on role of electronics in daily life by Dr. P. Venkatramana sir, Professor and Head, Department of ECE, SVEC, and the second session is on design of amplifiers and its applications by Dr. VMSN Pavan Kumar Chowdhury sir, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, SVEC. The session would commence in few minutes. Now, I humbly request our principal, Dr. D. Asha Lata ma'am, to inaugurate the webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Lahari. A very warm good afternoon to one and all. So it's indeed once again a great pleasure that we are here on the webinar series. Very thankful to the resource person, Professor Ramana sir, for being here with us today and we are very happy, sir, that you are part of this knowledge sharing sessions that we have initiated in the campus. And I hope that this role of electronics in daily life, that's the topic for the first session today in the 2 days national webinar on recent trends and applications in electronics and communication science. On behalf of Department of Mathematical Sciences, Sri Vidyaniketan College, I'm privileged to actually share with all of you that we are having a great momentum here in the academic year 2021, where we as a team are doing a series of webinars in all the campuses, engineering, arts and science, pharmacy, nursing and management, and try to be supportive to each other. So this envisions the great mission of our college or our team, like, how we want to actually stitch out the student community and help them. This is the great inspiration that we get from our Honorable Chairman, sir, Padma Shri Dr. Mohan Babu, sir, and a very dynamic CEO, Shri Vishnu, sir, who have encouraged us to take up activities like this. So on behalf of the college, once again, I welcome all the participants for this webinar. So we know that electronics and communication science is a very nice, lovely area of exploration for any researcher who is into real-time applications. But as a common man, this particular area is also equally important. And as a teacher and a student also, this area is equally fascinating and invigorating. So as a common man, when we take up, people are actually looking into electronics and communications only as an entertainment mode or as an orientation, which is useful for them to make their life convenient, like the smart gadgets or appliances, which make the life very easy, and the communication ways, which make each and every communication very fast. But when it comes to the teachers, researchers, and the industry perspective or the students' perspective, we have a wide range of applications prevalent now, from the intelligent apps to develop apps, or maybe 4G or 4G has gone now, 5G has come, different kinds of generations which are coming in future, the IoT applications, all sorts of artificial intelligence, or the big data which has come about, the blockchain technologies which are being used now. It's such an exploration. It's such an exploration that we find ourselves, dynamically involved in the latest kind of applications, not only for the systems and gadgets, but also for real-time applications where we want to make the life more supportive. But sometimes, in this human civilization, along with the humanity that we are looking out, sometimes we have a problem where we need support, where we need assistance. And very glad to actually accept that sometimes when we don't have a human support, we have a gadget support. Even for somebody who is not walking or who is in a wheelchair, or when children were, when I really remember once, like when we had a robotic kind of a workshop, they were talking about how the robots were helping the people who are impaired or who were challenged. or who are immobilized. But that was a time where like the Avengers series and all these things were afloat on the cinema world also. So the children got more fascinated towards joining engineering colleges and taking up sciences only because they were fascinated by how they can help people to become superheroes. So I would say somebody who is actually into electronics and communication science, who are really developing gadgets to make our human life much more valuable. We cannot stop anywhere just because we had a problem in our life. So it's much more valuable, much more to be shared with the world. I think they're all superheroes who are trying to come out with the latest technology to make our life the best. Maybe we have disadvantages, maybe kind of a debris there, maybe in the space or on the land or each and every planet, but still we have ways to do it nano or do it eco. So I think this is going to be a life changing kind of an expedition that we're going to be through in the coming future. And I hope that and wish that all of us together, especially the Department of Communications and Electronics and Communication Science in SVEC, will take up many more projects and also encourage the students to learn about new technologies. Thank you so much, sir, once again, and his entire team of faculty members who are here with us for 2 days. And we are very happy to host this webinar. So I thank the organizing team and congratulate them, both the faculty and students, for such a wonderful organization. And I hope that we'll have very, very interesting sessions in the coming 2 days. Thank you so much, and God bless all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I request the UG and PG coordinator, Dr. P. Manohar, sir, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Lahari. Respected Principal Madam, Dr. D. Harshalata Garu, Webinar Coordinator, Dr. K. Srinivas, Assistant Professor of Physics, Department of BSNH, SVEC, Organizing Members, K. Murali Mohan, Head Department of Mathematical Sciences, and KP Gopi Krishna, Assistant Professor of Electronics, Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College, and Technical Support Team Munishankar and Srivani Madam, and all other HODs, faculty members of SVTC, anchoring team, and student volunteers, all participants, and especially today's resource persons, Dr. P.V. Ramana sir, Professor and Head Department of ECE, and Dr. VMSN Pavan Kumar sir, Associate Professor, Department of ECE. A very good afternoon to all. This is Dr. Manohar, UG and PG Coordinator of Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College. It's my privilege to welcome this huge gathering of this webinar on recent trends and applications in electronics and communications. First of all, we are very much honored to Ramana sir and Pavan sir for accepting our invitation for enlightening us as resource persons in this webinar for Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College. I appreciate all the participants who are highly responded and registered to this great webinar. Now, I wanted to say very few words about this today's webinar. Development of electronics and communications has been one of the greatest contributors to the human society. No doubt, the telephone, radio, television, satellite communication, internet, mobile phone, and brought tremendous changes in the human life for the past 3 decades. Emerging trends in electronics and communication describes the applications in the areas of signal and image processing, cybersecurity, human-computer interactions, machine learning, electronic devices, wireless sensor networks, mobile communication, etc. The use of electronics in these days has become a part of our daily life. We can't imagine the world without electronics. Dr. Ramana sir and Dr. Pavan sir will enhance more about the role of electronics in daily life and design of amplifiers among all of us. I am sure that this webinar will help a lot to all the participants. I am confidently saying that this webinar will definitely reach the expectations of all the participants. On the behalf of all participants, we thank the resource persons who are attended here for sharing valuable information to all of us. Finally, I congratulate Dr. K. Srinivasan and organizers for organizing this great webinar. I hope that this type of webinars are expecting in future also from the Department of Mathematical Sciences, Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College. Now I conclude my addressing with these small quotations. Usually, civil engineers says that we build the world. Computer engineers saying that we build the magic world. Electrical engineers saying that we are the power of the world. But electronics, communication engineers saying that we connect the world. That is the beautiful word. Connection between the human beings, between the machines, and both humans and machines is possible only through electronics and communication. Finally, I can say communication is power. Without communication, without electronics, definitely we cannot bring the nation to the next level. But sometimes in this unlock 4.0, I can say that the maximum possible extent, stay at home and be safe. Thank you one and all for giving this opportunity to me. Thank you. Over to Lahari.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request the webinar coordinator, Dr. K. Srinivasulu, sir, Assistant Professor, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Lahari. Are you audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Warm greetings. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. T. Ashwata Madam, Principal of SVDC, encouraging me in organizing in such event. In spite of joining this institute in June 2020, I had witnessed her commitment towards her duties. She was always encouragement to materialize such events. In our leadership during this pandemic, we have organized 11 webinar such events, including this. I am thankful to today resource persons Dr. P.V. Ramana, Professor and Head Department of ECE, Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College, and Dr. B.M.S. Pawan Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College, with wholeheartedly for accepting their consent, and I asked them for first time itself. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you,
to
sir.
Lahari.
I express my gratitude and thankfulness to the resource person for accepting the invitation in spite of his busy schedule. And now I request Ms. R. Akhila, 2nd BSc MECS, Sri Vidyaniketan Degree College, to read the speaker's profile. Over to you, Akhila.
I am R. Akhila from 2nd BSc MECS, and I am extremely happy to introduce profile of today's speaker, Dr. P. Venkataramana sir. Professor Dr. P. Venkataramana sir completed MTech and PhD from SV University, Tirupati. He has more than 2 decades of teaching and research experience in Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College, and he has published 34 research articles in various reputed national and international journals. Professor Venkataramana sir completed various research projects and has so far received rupees 55 lakhs from various funding agencies. He completed INUP ILTB research project. Due to his vast experience, he was currently holding several responsible positions in academics and administrations in Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College. He is professor and head Department of ECE, member of governing body, Curricular Development Committee, and Academic Council, member in Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College. Above all, he has reputation of being the amicable and helpful to colleagues. Despite his busy schedule, Dr. P. Venkataramana sir has accepted our invitation to be the resource person from the session. I deem it has my honor to welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Akhila. I deem it a privilege to invite today's esteemed resource person, Dr. P.V. Ramana sir, to enlighten us about the role of electronics in daily life. We are happy to inform you that not only students, many of our alumni are also attending today's webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much to all of you, especially to Principal Madam and the coordinators, Manohar sir, Madhu Mohan sir, Lahari and Akila, and all of you. Shall I continue with my slides, please?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir, sure. We are waiting for that.
Thank you very much. Could you able to see this now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
One second. Right. Good afternoon to all of you. Last year I have given talk on the emerging in communications. Now my talk is on role of electronics in daily life. Coming to the presentation, my outline of presentation goes like: what is electronics, how branches, how electronics has been categorized, how practically, even though it derived from physics, why they call it as electronics, how the technology may become a part in daily life, and what is the current development in the electronics. Let us start with the basic introduction. What is electronics? Basically, it's nothing but a branch of physics that deals with the flow of charge carriers. It may be in the materials or maybe devices. But due to the technology enhancement, they changed the parameters, characteristics, which has inherent properties has been changed with the invent of technology, and they brought this to practical applications. Based on that, there have been branches as broadly analog electronics, digital electronics, microelectronics. Micro refers here that is of tininess. These microelectronics can be as analog or maybe digital. Nanoelectronics, which is very minute than micro. Optoelectronics, where optical fibers. Today, even we could able to see through mobile. That's only because of optical fibers, which is working background to your mobile stations. And the mobile communication is wireless communication. But every wireless communication, wire is the background. The background is purely the optical fibers. When hundreds of users in one channel, we could able to have the conversations. That's all because of optoelectronics. Now coming to the broad branches of electronics, analog, digital, micro, nano, and opto. Whereas coming to the actual branches, digital electronics, analog electronics, micro, circuit design. Circuit design also comes under the electronics. Integrated circuits, which is a part of microelectronics. Power electronics. If you take the TV's broadcasting station, radio broadcasting stations, there the power requirement for transmission will be large, whereas from your mobile, the power is being transmitted is very, very less. That's why there are high-speed electronics, power electronics, microelectronics, nanoelectronics. Now semiconductor devices comes under electronics, embedded systems comes under electronics, audio electronics, telecommunications, the mobile communication, landline, all this, nanoelectronics and bioelectronics. Now let us start our discussion with the electronics in daily life. Now our daily activity starts with electronic gadgets today. One of that is mobile phone. Mobile phone or landline phone. The mobile phone is otherwise called cell phone, otherwise called smartphones. All are true. Even if you call it a mobile phone, this is true. Cell phone, it is true. And its smartphone, it is true. That smart activities, because of programming, whatever the program is made, the system has to be implemented. For example, I'll tell. Suppose you want to watch a YouTube video that we are not going to talk anything, just only one-way communications. If you are watching a video, then only screen and your speaker will be switched on. If you want to make a call to somebody, like video call from your WhatsApp, then it has to switch on your microphone, it has to switch on the display, it has to switch on the speaker, because two-way communications. Now, based on the functionality, the phone itself, it customizes its other devices which are part integrated in the system that gets activated. Suppose you want to do a message, no need to have speakerphone, either speakerphone or neither speakerphone is on, nor your microphone is on. Only the screen is switched on and only keypad will come into picture. When you are making a dial, then automatically there is. So this kind of system that was brought by programming, according to the programming, the electronic system will activate the devices. Coming to the television, from CRT today it is LED and high quality LEDs. When any display devices that is used for radar or maybe you can see some display devices for advertisements, computer, laptop, tablets, which is become a part for every student today, Wi-Fi, digital watches, ATMs, micro oven, smart washing machines, not normal washing machine, smart washing machines, smart control, CCTV surveillance, global positioning system, lasers, medical equipment like X-ray, CT, MRI, all this become the electronics which And every one of you will come across any one of these, at least one of these, when you start your daily activity. So how will you categorize this? If you see, these are all the different gadgets or appliances of which where they involve, I mean, where the electronics were involved. Without electronics, no gadget will come out of from the production today, which will come to market today. The reason behind is things they want to be smart and things they should be very safe, and also it would have high functionality. Now, let us see one category, three categorizations I made just for understanding what is the role of electronics basically. If you take the wireless communication, smartphones, your smartphones now you can see 2G, 3G, and 4G. Also 5G also coming. Now, what is the difference you have seen between 2G, 3G, 4G in voice communications? I didn't find any difference between 2G, 3G, 4G with respect to voice communications. Voice is same in 2G, 3G, and 4G also. Now, what is that generations has been evolved? What is the need of going for higher generations? Whatever the voice quality I have seen in 2G, the same voice quality I'm seeing in 3G, same thing in 4G. Then what is that? Now, for you want to go for 5G. When you go to 2G, the demand is basically voice. At that time, data services are very, very less. Today, the demand requirement is data services. Data services in the sense you can have SMS, you can have emails, you can have chartings, you can have multiple. Now, the demand of data services is becoming higher than the actual voice services. That's why when you go for 3G, 3 times the speed more than your 2G. And when it comes to 4G, the speed is no way compared to 3G because it's a packet switching, VoLTE, voice over long-term evolution. Nothing but up to 2G and 3G, the voice is done with a physical line that was dedicated to the call is being done. Whereas in 4G, it is like a packets. Just is being transmitted to different nodes, and each packet is carrying information. The speed of the packet is very, very, very high. That's why we could able to have a high speed. Even today, we are listening this talk on one channel with hundreds of people. That is possible only with 4G. Even if you want to implement that with 3G, it is not possible because it cannot support that much of bandwidth. That is what the electronic system is doing. Now, such a speed, if it is being transmitted, how is the gadget could able to take it? That means with that speed, it has to receive the packets, and it has to extract the information packet, and it has to synchronize the packets, and it has to do. All this is done by your electronic equipment, electronics. Now coming to the Bluetooth, all the devices, let us take a phone of Samsung made, a phone of MI made, or a phone of something made, where you can have, say, Bluetooth. If you want to transfer information from one device to other device, you can do it. But if you want to transfer from a Bluetooth device of Samsung to iPhone, but all are using same IEEE protocol, but we cannot because they made certain customized system programming in such a way that it is not allowed from other devices. These are all nothing but all electronic system that can be either specific, that can be designed for a specific target. At the same time, we can make that customized and we can use certain priorities and we can use certain transaction limits to this. That is how, even though it is Bluetooth is free, no need to pay any money, which comes under unlicensed ad hoc network, unlicensed ad hoc network, which doesn't require any antenna, it doesn't require any network, we can have Wi-Fi. Now every Wi-Fi, if you see, that is an item, through Wi-Fi you get wireless, but for Wi-Fi device, you need to have a wired device. Wi-Fi is also free, and there is using ISM bands, industrial, scientific, and medicinal bands. There is a bands in the spectrum that is used purely for experimental purpose, and that band can be used for anything. The Wi-Fi is also used in the same thing. GPS, Global Position System. Today we are using navigational systems. That navigational systems earlier 50 meters resolution. For example, sometimes when you are switching on the GPS and you are moving in a car, after crossing the road, it will tell take right sometimes because it has 50-meter resolution. Today, NAVIC, it is the GPS system which was designed by Indian Environment, and in future all the mobiles will have that NAVIC GPS. It will have 5-meter resolution. These are all the civilian people which are using the GPS. When you go to military, they are using half-meter, 1-meter GPS. The satellites which are used for GPS for commercializations and for military are entirely different. The concept of the GPS remains same, but if you take the quality of or the resolution of GPS of civilian and military, that varies. What is varying there? The technology is varying. Which technology? Which technology? That is electronic technology. Similarly, radar. Radar is used for multiple purposes. One is tracking of the devices. Even police are using, with how much speed the car is moving in a highway. That's also radar, handheld radars. And every airport, there will be a radar station. ATC, they'll be calling air traffic control. Nobody knows where the flight, from which direction flight is coming, how many flights are moving. If you take like California, the thousands of flights will be fly all the time. If you take Bombay, nearly minimum 10 will be on the runway, and 10 will be on the landing, and 10 will be on the takeoff. Now, how we could not able to see after 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers because of visionary problem. And how this could able to see? They could able to manage because of radars. Now the radars which is used, even people are saying with how much speed the ball is being bowled in a cricket, that's also done with radar. So these are the different types of radar system where the electronics involved, the resolutions of these radars there differs. Coming to the satellite, and you can have DTH, TV satellites. You have different satellite systems. GPS satellites are there. LEO orbit satellites are there. NEO orbit satellites are there. Geosynchronous orbit satellites are there. Each satellite, see the beauty of satellites, and each satellite has a capacity of 1/10 of a optical fiber, single optical fiber. Each optical fiber is less than of your hair diameter. Simple hair diameter, less than of your hair diameter. Each that 1/10 of its capacity a satellite is having. But still people are using satellite. The reason is the coverage area of the satellite is very, very large, whereas your optical fiber you have to take to every destination. Coming to the DTH, and many of you are using DTH, direct to home. DTH stands for direct to home. This is nothing but we will call it as cable. Cable TV network is wired network, and the service provider will receive in wireless, and from there he will be distributing in wired, whereas DTH is purely a wireless communication. There are phones which are not commercialized. It is only with the bureaucrats. That phones are called satellite phones. Suppose if some natural calamities happens in Tirupati, for example, if all the communication system has been damaged, there is a possibility of sending the information to higher, higher bodies through the phones called satellite phones. It's not the commercialized phones. Only it is the phones which is meant for few emergency purposes. Cordless phones, audio and video recording. Just what we are doing is also audio video recording. Now see, my audio signals are audio frequency range in kilohertz. My video signals are another range frequency, visible frequency spectrum. These two signals are different signals where I have to combine and I have to transmit, and that could able to receive to everybody. So electronics involved in different. Now these are all the items which comes under wireless communications. Coming to the embedded system, now smart traffic control, not regular traffic control. It's smart control. If density of the traffic on one side is less, then the time allotment for that area is going to be vary. That's called smart traffic light control. Barcode. Just if you go to any supermarkets, you'll be using barcodes. Barcode, how you are creating a barcode, how it is being scanned. That's also done by electronic system. Simply it scans and it gives the, what kind of product it is, what is the price it is, and how many units you have. All this will be done by barcode systems. Electronic toll. Today, all toll plazas, they are using tags, RFID tags. That's also embedded based, which has limited applications. Embedded has limited applications. What I have mentioned here, next smart washing machine. This is not normal washing machine, is also embedded. Now today it is smart washing machine. Now you can have spending, you can have hot water, hot rinses, and you can make certain time variations. You can go for syncing of that. All such facilities are available with smart virtual machines. If something up and down, that is going to be given information in terms of either display or maybe if alerts smart. Coming to the medical electronics, you will be having X-rays, CT, MRI, microwave therapies. Sometimes the ortho people, they used to use the microwave therapies, ECG, EEG, patient monitoring system, BP monitoring system. When you go to any ICUs, we'll be seeing some sounds are coming from the monitor, which is patient monitoring system that used to give the information of oxygen level, ECG level, ECG records, as well as the pulse rate, heartbeat, everything. This is how it has been categorized. There is no standard types of categorization. Even I can bring patient monitoring system to the embedded system also, because that patient monitoring system is doing limited of applications. I can sometimes I can bring that patient monitoring system to embedded based system also. I can bring audio video recording to embedded system also. So likewise, they depend upon the application and quantity of work it is doing, and what is the kind of things you want to customize or you want to do different functionalities. This is going to be varied. There is no standard categorizations of electronic system basically, but generally they will be doing based on the scenario or the kind of application where they are using it. Sometimes I'll be calling washing machine as embedded. Sometimes people are using it as some other kind. Patient monitoring system is medical electronics. I can call it as an embedded based electronic system. Now see the category, another kind of categorizations, where one is consumer and home appliances, your washing machines, TVs, fridge. See, today there is a fridge called IoT based fridge. Suppose when you open the door for milk, you could able to see the packets and you can recognize whether packets are there or not, or how many packets is required. But if you program in your fridge, once the packets come down, you'll get a message that the number of packets that are available in your fridge is only this much milk. Likewise, you can program. It is IoT based fridge. Likewise, TV also. You can be at somewhere and you can switch on the TV or ACs, air conditions. After entering into the house, you have to switch on the AC. No need to do like that today. IoT is available, Internet of Things, where before coming to home from my office, I can switch on the AC, where I have to make all the gadgets to be connected to the IoT system. That's all. Where I can switch on the AC before entering into the house. When I enter into the house, I'll be feel happy that I'll be feel comfortable. These are all the different kinds of electronic system that today is happening. Next, smart infrastructure. What is infrastructure and what is smart infrastructure? Now, smart infrastructure will give the information like how much water is there in the tank, what is the humidity inside. Now, how many buildings are there? Each building of, whether you have paid, all these we can customize. It is not that what I'm saying is right. You can customize the system as you like with respect to smart. Likewise, that you can do with the infrastructure. Let us take swimming pool. If it is dirty, now after seeing only one can recognize. You can make your own system using sensors, and you can make that once it becomes dirty, the sensor will give an information that system is, your swimming pool is dirty. Likewise, the dust, humidity inside the room, all you can control using sensor. Now coming to this third item, security and surveillance. Now almost most of the commercial buildings, even home, education institutes, everything is CCTV surveillance. Now what is this the electronic system is doing is, with the limited bandwidth, it could be able to scan, and each one TV screen, you could accommodate hundreds of CCTV footages into single screens, and these are all because of electronic system. Healthcare. Now, I'll tell one simple example. For a mild heart attack patients, they used to inject and medicine, like for 1 hour, only 100 ml of medicine has to be injected into the body. Is it possible for a human being to inject it to the body? It's never possible. Never possible for a human being, because in 1 hour, uniformly, you have to inject the medicine into the body. That is not possible with a human being. That is possible with a medical system. It's called electromechanical system. So this electronic system will count the clocks, and accordingly it will apply the pressure to the injection. So that injection will continuously inject into the body as per the program which you made. You want to within half an hour, you can program for half an hour. You want to have within 1 hour, you can have 1 hour. This is how that is happening in your healthcare. Now, there is, Dr. Mohan Diabetic Centers, they are inserting a chip into the body that will record your sugar levels. No need to, record every day. That will record, and when you go there or you go to any center of that, sub centers, they will record and they will verify that. Now, what is the sugar levels for the continuous 3 months? Otherwise, if such kind of electronic system is not there, then what do you do? Every day you have to check the sugar. And that too, this system will give the information for every minute what is the sugar level in your body, so that the correct treatment can be done with the process. With the help of electronic healthcare, CT, MRI, without that now today it is not possible to treat of higher diseases. When cancer also, PET scan is there. This PET scan will give the top to bottom, from bottom finger, your leg finger to head, wherever there is malignous, that will be identified and that information will be given. Transports, now smart systems are there. GPS vehicle is there. If you Ola, if you book, automatically it will get the location of you, and the vehicle will come to you. All this today because of electronic system. Now coming to the retail price, you are using barcode and you are doing online shopping, all these things. Now coming to the industrial, 90% of the industrial today because of the automation and the IoT, and as well as electronic system, electronic monitoring. Otherwise, it is not possible for a human being to concentrate on every item. Suppose if you are designing a chip of size which is almost equal to 1/4 of your 25 paise coin, it is not possible to see by a human being. Continuously seeing with the enlarging screens, then it will be a strain on the body. All this is done by the electronic systems. Similarly, many more. Now coming to the another one, this gadgets which you can see. Now see the pen drive, you know very well. Now see this umbrella. This umbrella will give the information of surrounding. If vehicle is moving near to it, that will give the information to you. Now air purifier, that will sense the air quality, and accordingly it will work. Now this is the pen drive. This is normal. This is an electronic system. See this cycle. This is electronically locked. Now when you are becoming an authorized to use this cycle, then it has to be scanned. Then automatically lock will be released, and you can use this cycle. These are all the different electronic system which is used today, where many of you you didn't see, even you didn't sense it. Now this is simple printer. It's not a simple printer. Now from anywhere I can, without wire, I can take printout of this. If I want to take printout, I want to send something to my son, then I can transmit through the IoT system, and they can take printout data. These are the different gadgets where you can see. Now coming to these smart gadgets, a few smart gadgets today, which is ruling today. This is electronic lock. This electronic, no physical lock is there. With the code, you can lock. Every time you can change the code by using certain procedures. Likewise, this is this is a normal, tab. It's a kind of tablet or tab. Now this is a remote. This is a smart remote. Where suppose you want to change something, when you pick, automatically the lights will be switched on, and it will say whether it is the device is in on condition or off conditions. Likewise, there are many gadgets. Bluetooth speakers are there, a lot many things. Now Bluetooth speakers, based on the echo, automatically it will adjust the volume. Even if increase, if it's receiving the echo, automatically it will adjust the volume. These are different smart gadgets which only few of them we are experienced, and a few of them are there. Okay, it's possible, and some of you may experience, but I have experienced only with a few things. Now this is what the new gadgets is. Coming to your course of UG, like BSc electronics, all these things, you read about P injection diode, BJT, JFET, MOSFET, MESFET, SCR, UJT. Till that, only UJT people have learned. Now, what is that? These devices is ruling. What is electronic device? What is these devices? All these are semiconductor devices. Why people call that as electronic devices? If physics people, if you ask the physics people, they will call these are all semiconductor devices. Yes. True. Then what is electronic devices? Diode basically meant for switching action. BJT meant for switching action and as well as amplification also. JFET do the same thing, switching and amplification. MOSFET amplifications, MESFET, SCR, high power applications. You want to switch on the street light, it is not possible with the transistor. Then they will go for SCR, triac, DAC, UJT, high frequencies. Now insulator gate, likewise there is IGFET. Now what I mean to say here is, these are all the devices. Now till now what we have discussed, all that was, almost all these gadgets, all the gadgets were made using these devices only, When you connect two devices, or when you apply different biasing techniques, or when you operate the device into different conditionals, now the device characteristics is going to be changed. The performance of the device get changes. Now I can tailor make the circuit as per my requirement. This is what. Now don't think that these are all the devices, what it is not going to do. All the gadgets is being made with these devices only. Now coming to the last item here, if you see, I mean Shockley diode, gun diode, pin diode, these are all high frequency diodes. Radar, satellites, all works on these frequencies. These are high frequency devices. Well, you cannot imagine how it will be. The gun diode, if you see, it's a small piece of chocolate. The cost of the device is 12,000 rupees. So high frequency devices. Basically, that is used for high frequency and high power applications. When the magnetrons. In your home, many of you have come across the micro oven, or you have visited bakery, and they are giving puffs or maybe sandwiches with a heated one. Within few seconds, it's being heated. How it's being done? Only because of microwave. It's all purely electronics. Purely electronics. Now, this is another very simple and very funny thing which I would like to share to you. Now, this is the diagram seen under this is nothing but doorbell circuit. Simply, when you in your home, when you press, you will get some music in this. Okay, this is the simple circuit. Now, in this circuit, they are using 555 IC. They are using 555 IC. The internal diagram of 555 IC was shown on the top right side. Now, this IC, see, it is less than that of a 1 rupee coin. Just, I'm taking equivalent 1 rupee coin. It's not 1 rupee coin actually. Now, if you see this, now this IC contains, see, 2 comparators, 1 flip-flop, 1 driver circuit, transistor, and resistance. If you want to connect this circuit, the size of circuit will be more than your cell phone size, physically. If you integrate, if you make it microelectronics, then it will become like this. See the size of IC. See this size of IC. This is how the electronic system is being generally managed. Now, why the size of the device is becoming less? The reason is, first one, they started with the LSI, large scale, MSI, medium scale integration. Next, large scale integration. VLSI, very large scale integration. Today is ULSI, ultra large scale integration. Nothing but thousands of transistors I can keep in this size of IC. Thousands of transistors which you are reading in your syllabus, which is called BJT. I can keep thousands of BJT or MOSFETs within this size. That means what should be the size of a transistor I have to take? It should be either micro or nano size. So that is called VLSI technology. VLSI technology says how minimum you can do it. This is not the of individual credibility. Now electronic people will give design. The mechanical people have to support for that. The chemical people have to say, in nano, if I make this silicon, is it possible to handle? So it is now today it is purely interdisciplinary. If I want to make a product, it is interdisciplinary. Only I can give design. The material has to choose by chemical person. Now the fabrication has to taken care by mechanical person. So put together we can have. It is not possible to have. But when coming to the role of electronics, so when you start a day, you will be starting with your mobile phone, and the ladies generally they move to the kitchen, and they're using mixie, and they're using ovens, they're using cooker. All these are electronic system only. Without that, today it's not possible. Next, coming to the motherboard. Now see, this is the motherboard of a computer. Just see, now if you see, this is the actual processor. See the processor. Now this processor will do all the functions of your computer. These are all only for interfacing. These are all only for power supply units and other units. This is for interfacing units, all this. Only this is the processor. Now see the size of processor. Now if you want to build processor physically, then the size of the processor will be size of a bedroom, minimum 15 by 15, or a size of the room of 15 by 15 size is required, with multiple layers, with the 20 layers or 30 layers. All this is done with this. This contains lakhs of transistors, not thousands, lakhs of transistors. It contains more than 1 lakh of transistors. Now see, this is another IC which contains thousands of transistors, where you cannot keep, cannot be done by a human being. It has to done, the soldering also has to be done by the machine. That's why even if one part is damaged in motherboard, they will be thrown. The reason is you want this laptop size very slim. How it can be made? Why these desktop system sizes are more? Why your laptop sizes are minimum? The reason is the technology that was evolved, electronic technology that was evolved to make the systems are entirely different. Entirely different. This is how they are going made. This is called, this is IC, this is motherboard, this is interfacing, and this device is called, smart technology, surface mount technology. The device is called surface mount devices. Same IC, what I have shown earlier. This has pins where you can put, you can solder, you can do, but you cannot see the pins also. All this is done with machine soldering only. This is called surface mount technology. It has double side PCBs. All the devices are kept in this. Even if one get damaged, if this get damaged, no replacement, you have to replace the board. That is the only drawback. Certain drawbacks are there. But if it is ruling, it occupying the space, even size of this reduces automatically. The cost of the material requirement is also going to be less. Only the technology is getting evolved. Now coming to your mobile phone. See your mobile phone. This is the latest phone which I am showing to you. Only the board you can see, only this much of area is being covered. Only this side and only this side. That's all. These are all battery, and the other side you will have only what? Screen. So see the board size. It is supporting for 2G, it is supporting for 3G, 4G, supporting for Bluetooth, supporting for Wi-Fi, supporting for camera, supporting for IR. Few mobiles having IR. Now see Wi-Fi antenna. At least you could not able to see Wi-Fi antenna also. The size of the antenna is how much? Very, very less. It is like it is size less than that of an ant. Now see the 5G antenna. Now see the diversity antennas. Now see the 5G antenna. Now, sir, what is this 5G antenna? What is this 5G antenna? 5G antenna, they are using 5G. You can have data services. You can have voice services. Likewise, every generation will have different kinds of services. So you can have data services. Data services include WhatsApp, Facebook, all. Other than voice, anything that will be called as value-added service in communications, which we call as data services. Now, lower words, this has to support for 4G and other also. That's why 3 antennas, low, mid-band, carrier aggregations. So there are some more antennas which supports for 2G, 3G, and 4G. Now, this is the maximum space occupied. This is the maximum space occupied. See, this is doing not only the voice communication, but also the data processing, but also the audio systems, but also the video which you are taking from your mobile phone. It also accepting the gadgets which is connected to it. It also managing the Bluetooth. It also managing the Wi-Fi. All this was kept in a single chip. That chip size is almost less than that of your 1 rupee coin or 5 rupees coin, less than a 5 rupees coin thickness. Now see the technology, how it is being evolved. All this is done on a PCB of double side. Suppose if something went wrong in this device, now these are part and pieces, whereas this board is not part and piece. This board is a single board where you have to throw and you have to bring the new one. This is how the system is made. Now there is a doubt you have, sir, your title is role of electronics. Now I cannot differentiate electronics and communications. If I want to do communication with the electronic system only, I can do the communication. If I want to do the signal processing, nothing but I am talking to you. My signal is time varying signal, which is an analog signal. But you are receiving the signal in terms of digital. Now systems are converting an analog signal to digital. Microphone is taking my voice and it's converting. And even if somebody is talking without video also, you can understand whose voice it is. That means from voice to voice, the vocal frequency get changes. That frequency is also electronically processed. So even MRI, CT, microtherapy, ECG, all these are different kinds of system, all were being done with electronic system. That is called electronics. What are the devices you are using again? The list which I have shown just now is, these are all the devices which is used for processing this. Processing is nothing but it's a kind of procedure which is followed by, which is set by the processor and that is implemented by the devices. Now these are all the devices which was inside inside the gadgets, but that you cannot see physically. 1 lakh of transistors kept in a size of 3 by 3 inches. Now you can estimate how this is being interconnected. Why? And you people have experienced that sometimes when phone is ringing, the TV get disturbed. That is not happening continuously. That happens once in a while. Similarly, electronic system, if there is heavy rains in wireless communications, the TV signals will be very bad. Sometimes when you're in a home, your mobile signals get, suddenly your call get drops, or sometimes you get good signal. If you take your mobile phone, in some of the rooms, some of the houses, you will get signal, and in some rooms you will get signal, in some rooms you won't get signal. These are all different scenarios. What I'm talking is entirely different. This is electronic system. Now that is with respect to the multi-path signals. Multi-path signals is nothing but electromagnetic radiation that is happening in the air and hitting the walls or the man-made structures and the reflections which you are receiving based on the. But after receiving the signal, it is processed by your phone. See, parallelly you can talk to two members also using what? Conference call. That's also done electronically. Now this is communication. That communication is done by electronics. So whatever you say, transportation is something, but electronically you could able to do certain enhanced features which will be helpful for the human beings. Whereas in industry, monitoring, automations of industry, now placing and picking up robots, that you can see here. Now I'll show one in small video. You people can understand how basically that is happening in the, 1 second, I'll share this video, how this is happening in your real-time industry. Could you able to see the video? Anybody please respond?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now see, this is what happening in the industry. See, that is placing.
Got.
These are all the designs. Once it is fabricated, it will go for testings. This is electronic architecture. Now, this is a motor vehicle where every process of this motor vehicle is controlled by electronic system. This is wireless remote control of a vehicle. It is not toy, it is a vehicle. The connection is, see, now there is no connection. Physical autonomous car. The remotely controlled autonomous car. Today, no device is working independently, which requires a software enabled because when you want to have a different functionality, I'll share one more video, different functionality, then definitely you need to have, one second. Now, see, could you able to see this video?
Yes, sir.
Please. Automobile industry,
Yes.
solar industry, bottle filling industry, packing industry, bottling industry. This is this is this is purely a mechanical industry where the automation is, control systems. All these are done. All this automation is done by electronic. All these machines works based on the instructions that are given by the processor, but it is controlled by the electronic system. So, degree students, 90% of the industries that go with the PLCs. Instead of processor, they are using PLCs, program logic controllers. That is the digital devices that is used to control for industrial automation. And they used to have go with PLC and SCADA for industrial. This is industrial standard, where instrumentation department of SVEC, we have these PLCs with us, and we have this SCADA. And if you want, you can visit these departments also.
Okay.
Now, whatever you have seen just now, whatever you have seen, these displays all will be controlled by electronic system. Now see, these are purely electronically controlled. Solar panel, television, TV, LED TV. Now, this is what I would like to share. If you go to a radar system or television center, radio centers, anything, all that signals are being processed digitally today. That digital systems are purely by electronic systems. Likewise, for every wireless, wire is the background. Similarly, for every automation system, for any communication system, anything, for any processor or for any embedded system, the background is electronics. Thank you very much. Now, if you have any queries, you can ask.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Ms. V. Akanksha, 3rd BSc, to pass on questions or clarifications to the resource person. Over to you, Akanksha.
Thank you, Lahari. So there are some questions from the viewers.
Please.
So the first question is from Muri Tejashwari sir.
Okay.
How does electronics system sizes are more compact?
Because now if you use an individual devices, conventional devices, the size will be large. Conventional device, I have to handle the device. That means I have to put some, suppose if you want to handle, for example, the cooker, you will have stands and you have certain mechanical support for these things. Likewise, to handle each and every device, some mechanical coating will be there, along with the insulation coating will be there, and for handling, mechanical setup will be there. If you remove all these things and keeping everything into the packet, then automatically the size will be reduces. And the technology makes from 120 nanometer to today it is 12 nanometer technology, and 7 nanometer technology is going on. That means one transistor you can keep on 7 nanometer. It's not micro, nanometer. Even you cannot see, because the size head diameter is in microns. I'm talking about nano. Since the device size is in nano, I can keep thousands of devices in 1 rupee coin.
Question is from Himaja sir.
Okay.
What is the difference between electronics and electrical, sir?
Electronics and electricals. Okay. Let us take switch, transformer, switches, relays. All these are electrical devices. Now diode, transistor, FET, MOSFET, these are all electronic devices. Capacitance, all these are electrical, okay, these are electrical components, that's all. Sometimes it is very difficult to distinguish between these two devices also. Sometimes. But as a student, you people can distinguish very clearly transformers, where suppose in your home it is 230 volts. You are running your AC directly, you are running your fan directly, but your charger has size of this much. What this charger is doing, it is converting 230 volts to 5 volts and it is charging your, okay, this one. These are all the charger has transformer or some other electronic device or electrical device that converts from higher range of voltages to lower range, and then it will be transforming into the required number of DC, required amount of DC, and it will be charged.
Any more questions, ma?
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. We should thank you. That was a very wonderful presentation. We were just noting down a few points. So at this juncture, sir, like, like part of the campus and everything, keeping in view the future interests of the students also, we wish and hope that under your leadership, we'll get an EMRC center in the college.
Definitely.
So we hope that you will work towards that, because we also have a lot of students inside the campus. We hope that under your leadership, we should get that. And we should do a lot of good work on campus. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
We are very much thankful to you, sir, for delivering us such a knowledgeable session on role of electronics in daily life. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your valuable time to enlighten us. It was indeed a very informative session, sir.